All right, this episode of a Hero's Journey podcast is brought to you by SMP Inc., JPS Computers, and shout out to our listeners at Rock Rage Radio. My name is Brian Hopkins, and I'm sitting here with my co-host, Danielle Vasanova.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back.
And we are in part 2 right now of, I left out in that intro.
Rock Rage Radio, when? Monday night?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not worried about that. But yeah, Monday nights,
okay,
9 o'clock. But the last time we had Randy on, which he's still sitting here, the guy owns businesses. There's just so many facets of you. It's crazy. We could talk for hours, and I'm your friend. So it's fun for me to sit back and watch you ask him questions and put him in the hot seat. Like, you know,
he's a poet.
Yeah,
bring it on.
Exactly. So we got Randy Couture on a Hero's Journey podcast today, and Randy, welcome back.
Thanks, man.
It's like you never left the room.
Well, I appreciate you having me on, man. It's been a blast.
This has been a lot of fun. Last episode, you read a poem to us, Scars. We talked about how you got into fighting. We talked about movies, acting. You got into directing just recently. You directed a music video, was it?
I directed a music video for Chris Turner, who was a Marine that's now trying to make his way into country music, living in Nashville and doing his thing down there. And he's a great guy. I really enjoyed it. And he reached out to me. He's like, man, would really love it if you would be in my music video. And I said, well, if you'll let me direct it, I'll be happy to be in it.
Oh, dang.
Was that the first time
That's the first time I've stepped behind the camera in that way. So
wow.
I'm actually in the video and I've directed the video, which I had a lot of help. It was my first time kind of trying to tell the story. Certainly a story.
Did you have that in the back of your mind that you wanted to direct for a while?
I absolutely want to direct. When I read scripts, I get very clear pictures and see things vividly when I'm reading. I think that harkens back to wrestling and learning how to visualize. And, before I ever walked into a cage for a fight, I'd seen that fight hundreds of times before I ever walked out there on fight night. And so I think once you start exercising that kind of mental skill, those muscles, it becomes easier, much easier to visualize things and see things happen.
It's the power of the mind, right?
Absolutely. It's one of the things I think a lot of us miss. What do they say? 90% of athletics is mental, but we spend, if any, less than 10% of the time working on the mental skills to deal with athletics. And the thing I wished I'd have figured out sooner was that those same mental skills apply to your daily life and to anything else that you want to accomplish. You're going to want a raise at your job and you got to go talk to your boss about that. Visualize that occurrence. See it many, many times before you actually knock on his door and go in his office. Always with that one common denominator. You see yourself getting that raise. I see myself getting my hand raised every single time. And you will have a physical response to those pictures that you put in your head. And we can do exercise drill on that. I mean, picture a lemon. I do this all the time with my athletes. And if I had you close your eyes and visualize a lemon right now, and you see that lemon clearly, and you can see the skin and the nubs and the waxy yellow skin on this lemon. Now I want you to picture your hand coming in and slicing that lemon in half with a knife. And you see the two segments of that lemon separate. And you can see the pulp, and you can see the segments, and you can see the clear yellow juice spreading out on the counter, and you start to smell that lemon. Did your mouth start puckering, Brian?
Yeah.
Did you see any lemons in here?
No, exactly.
Yeah, you had a very physical response to that picture that you just put in your head.
Right.
That's how it works. And you can do that with anything. I may have saved myself a couple of divorces so that I'd learned that translated to my personal life a little sooner. But it absolutely does. It doesn't matter what it is. You can visualize yourself and visualize that success and going in there and accomplishing what you want to accomplish.
Okay. Sorry.
They say, how you do anything is how you do everything, right?
Yeah. I know in wrestling and fighting, you're going to compete exactly how you train. So if you're being lazy in the training environment and you're not being as sharp as you should be or as diligent as you should be, chances are that's probably how you're going to compete when you walk out there and it's on the line. So you have to be diligent at all times. You have to be a student of the game and really pay attention and try and get the most out of yourself.
What do you visualize next, like for the rest of your journey?
I like now, obviously, like I said, when I read scripts, I see very clear images of that story and seeing it happen and seeing
you
my
directing.
character there. And I think that certainly lends itself to the position that a director is going to be in. And I think at some point I want to direct. I thought I was going to get the chance to do that this summer. I did a movie early in the year called The Bellkeeper. It's kind of a supernatural thriller. It was a lot of fun.
Was that Mindy's? Or
No,
okay,
that was
sorry.
last year.
Okay.
The Dark Angels, the Demon
Yeah.
Pit. That's just been delivered now to
That was a
Paramount
feature,
Plus as a feature film.
Okay.
Minnie, my girlfriend, wrote it. I fell in love with the script. Obviously, made some
Producer,
connections
that's
and first time I've actually put some of my own skin in the game to get that film
Nice.
made. So we're excited about that. It's sold. We're getting our money back. They want us to write the second one. This is supposed to be a trilogy. So the first one is good enough, and they like it enough that they
We're
want us to write
actors.
the second.
We can act. Just saying.
Hey.
Could be something here.
So yeah, definitely excited
do you
about
write
that.
scripts as well?
I have not written a script, and I keep getting poked. You should write, because I write the other stuff,
Right.
and they're like, you should write a script, and I would like to do that. I feel like I'm running so hard that I don't have time to. First of all, finding the story that's going to tickle you enough to want to kind of write that out and then tell it.
Right.
But just slowing down long enough to be able to
You almost
do
had that series. I remember the knuckle boxing one.
Yeah,
but
FX. It was called Knockout, and Holt McCallan ended up getting that part, and he did a great job. And then I ended up doing a movie with him later.
Really?
He's a great guy. Really, really like him. And once you see him or see his name, he's one of those guys. You go, oh, that guy. Yeah, I remember him from. He just gets a lot of work, and rightly so. He's very good.
we cut you off. You had a thought of, you were talking about this other project that you thought you might.
Oh
be
yeah, I was.
directing.
I did the Bellkeeper, and Atisha is the producer of that, and she said, "Man, I have this veteran script that I'm trying to find a director for. Have you ever directed?" And I said, "Well, I did a music video, but that was it, and I've never really stepped in. You'd be taking a chance." But she said, "Yeah, but."
You're Randy Couture.
You've had lots of acting experience, so I think that would translate.
Yeah.
And I went through some of the producer meetings, via Zoom and talked to them, and was, I think, headed towards getting that acting job. And then I think the whole thing just kind of evaporated. It didn't happen. So we'll see. I'll get there sooner or later for sure.
Okay. Well, very cool. My thought process was getting lost here because there's so many different things that you do. You own a gym here in town, so I see these fighters that are coming up that, like, you're sitting here making me visualize, and I'm visualizing that. But Randy Couture, you keep that legacy alive. You have the Couture Gym. What it's called?
Extreme Couture
yeah.
MMA. It's my second, actually my third gym, realistically. Dan Henderson, Matt Lindeland, myself, and Robert Fallis founded Team Quest up in Oregon. That was my very first gym up in Gresham. Yeah. We all partnered up, and obviously Robert did the nuts and bolts parts of that. Me, Matt, and Danny were all fighting and out representing, and certainly a lot of fighters wanted to come in and train with us. So we had a great group of guys up there, literally the who's who in the sport at one time, for sure. You could have sold popcorn to a lot of those workouts. It was a great place to be. And then I obviously went through the divorce in Oregon, kind of moved to Vegas at that time, was originally training on the set for The Ultimate Fighter, which is what brought me to Vegas. I spent 90 days here shooting that first reality show, The Ultimate Fighter. And then it was in short, that next 6-8 months that I moved down here when that started airing in 2005.
Oh wow!
So I was training on the set basically for the show, and I'm like, "Oh, you guys can't come in anymore. We're shooting another episode, another season." I'm like, I got to train,
right?
So instead of going to every other gym in town, we got out, searched, and found a space and opened Extreme Couture here. I had opened Legends on Hawthorne in Beverly Hills, Hollywood, West Hollywood, and myself and Boss Rutan, and we had some partners in that, and it lasted a couple years, but it was a tough place there to run a gym. And so Boss and I both kind of divested in that. Boss went to Thousand Oaks, that area in the valley, and started his own gym there, and I was spending way more time in Vegas at that time, and opened Extreme Couture here, so it worked out.
I saw you playing yourself on Ballers. I sent you a video of it a couple of times. It's with The Rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was
Jay
that?
Glazer,
HBO,
Jay Glazer,
right?
is,
Yeah.
Jay Glazer is
HBO.
one of my best friends. We started MMA athletics together, and he owns that gym up on Sunset Boulevard.
That's what
behind
made me
the Pink
think of it,
Taco.
yeah.
And they shoot a bunch of the episodes in there.
Right.
And Jay plays himself, and he kind of got me in there, training some of the guys on the show, basically playing myself as well.
Right.
It's fun, very fun show. A lot
Is
of
that
people love
weird?
that show.
Talking about this. So I appreciate that. You sent me a screenshot of one of my songs the other day.
Yeah,
and you're
man.
like fire emojis and everything, and I'm like, whoa.
We were listening to your songs. Yeah, we were.
Thank
I was
you.
like, I was looking for stuff to listen on Spotify, and I was like, you know what? Let me check out Brian's stuff.
Right.
And just played the whole. We saw your
Yeah.
top songs, and Angel's
you.
a great tune.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I wrote that song trying to show someone how to write. And I was giving an example of writing songs, and then I had to go, you know what? I got to finish this. I got to, just give me some time, and ended up writing that song, and it just came out of teaching.
That's incredible.
I was asked, where's it come from? How do you write? I'm like, well, and then just walked them through it. So Mojo Juju right now it's a cover band that you guys are doing at the moment, but you're starting to write original
Originals,
songs.
correct, yeah.
But I know that you've had originals, and you go by, what's the name that you go by when you?
My artist name is Le Freak.
Le Freak. That's
Yeah.
right, because I follow you, and then I'm like, wait a minute, that's Leah.
Yeah.
So what's cool is we've turned on the TV and heard a couple of your songs in different shows. Like please tell me.
Most recently, we had Dating Around. We've been on The Ultimatum, Selling Sunset, a lot of Netflix stuff, which has been awesome. And my favorite was Riverdale, which is like a big one for the teens.
Yeah. I watch that show too. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Archie. I got into this whole comic world,
I used to love
and
the
it's
Archie
a
comics.
dark Archies,
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I never got into the original one, but this show is a spinoff from the dark side, like a different universe type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
I should check it out.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, I didn't even know that you had a song on there. That's so cool. But do you think you could play one of your originals?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, we can pull
You want to
that.
help me?
Sure.
That would be what is set this up for us while he gets that guitar ready.
This is probably one of my favorite originals. I'm coming out with my first full-length album in October. So before that comes out, this is one of my favorite originals. This is called Moonlight, and it's kind of being about being secretive. It's very sensual. I was very inspired by Portishead with this one, which is one of my favorite bands.
Oh, very cool. So
So
you might want to put this up to
Oh, right.
your ear, so it'll help you with hearing the guitar. And you guys will be my second guest to get to play a song.
Yeah.
all right.
I'm trying to remember.
Paint my wounds, lover, make them pink and red with laughter. Sell my skin, trader, make it nice and fine to read the print. Phony people, silver screens, tell me something, don't make believe, want something real, bring me back from memories. Oh, don't you wanna see me in the moonlight? Oh, don't you wanna do me right? Oh, don't you wanna see me in the moonlight? Oh, but you'll never treat me nice. Make me burn, savior.
wave my heat maker. Come and taste the falseness in my flesh. Oh, don't you wanna see me in the moonlight? Oh, don't you wanna do me right? Oh, don't you wanna see me in the moonlight? Oh, but you'll never treat me nice. Get to the heart of it. Get to the dark of it. Get to the heart of it. Oh, get to the dark. Oh, thought you'd recognize me in the moonlight. Oh, thought you'd recognize my skin. Oh, thought you'd recognize me in the moonlight. Oh, but you'll never feel my skin. You'll never feel my skin.
That was amazing. Give it up.
Thank you. I spit on the mic.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Chills. Woo.
Woo.
Yeah.
Whoa, producer Travis, what'd you think?
I had a blast listening and cutting to that. It was fantastic.
Yeah?
I love acoustic versions of everything.
Awesome. Thank
But
you.
that was, I'm telling you right now, that was special and inspiring you
Facts.
guys. Go fix your, you know what? Stay there real quick because it's set up. You guys said you wrote a little something today. You want to
Should we
try
try
it?
it?
Try it? Yeah.
Let's just try it. I mean, this is kind of a cool thing for listeners because we are still working through this. So it's like a first example of what we're doing as a band.
I love sharing those. I love doing that. I try them out on stage. We'll have a verse chorus.
Yeah.
And then we do it, or hey, we wrote this last night. What do you think? In front of thousands, and it's like a lot of fun to just.
Man, can you imagine?
You know, it's. I have a lot of video of like, hey, I'm gonna try this out. You know, and we just wrote this last night, or just 2 days ago, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool feedback, and they feel like they're a part of it. They're part of that moment. They get to share that. So our listeners are, and the people watching get to be a part of this as well. And guys, that was so impressive.
Thank
You
you.
are amazing. And that's what I wanted them to hear at home and see at home, that it wasn't just singing your praises. You guys are inspiring.
Thank
You're
you.
very inspiring.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
No,
Back at you.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
Keep saying that all day.
What,
All right.
what does this have a title yet, or is this just
It has a working title of Feel Alive.
Feel
Maybe?
Alive?
I don't know.
Interesting. I had a song back in the day called that. I think something about lion.
Something,
yeah.
yeah.
Maybe we'll come up with a title right now.
Right now.
Too many irons in the fire, and no, I can't get out. You know you're calling me a liar. So what's it all about? I'll give a sentimental reason for committing. I'm not teasing, cause you know that I don't play no games. I'm pushing and I'm pulling and I'm going with the seasons, cause you know that you will know my name. Turn on the lights. Find it inside. Now I feel alive. Oh, I'm gonna rise. Oh, I feel alive. Oh, so don't be messing with me, cause you know I'll pass you by. I feel alive. Oh, I feel alive. You know I feel it. I feel alive. I feel alive. I feel alive.
Wow.
That's all we got for now.
Wow.
Thank you.
And you guys wrote that this morning.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
I actually got the whole structure down. We just, as far as
I have to write the lyrics.
Yeah, lyrics and everything. So.
Amazing. Was born without a left chest muscle. So, and I didn't talk about it, but the agency knew. So I had to wear jackets all the time. So winter time was my busy time for me. I would get hired to do runway shows and those kinds of things. And I remember going, nope, I can't have football practice on the weekend or whatever, because I have a runway show, and don't say anything. That's what I did, and that was my world. And so but nothing like you guys. Oh my gosh. Like you guys, it's next level stuff. New York is all high fashion stuff.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing.
What's like a typical day in the life for you?
Oh
Like, can
goodness,
you tell
it's
people out
different
there?
every day.
Yeah, that's the beauty
Depending
of
on
it.
what I'm doing, decides how I wear my hair.
Yeah.
If I had it my way, I would be comfortable in just sweats and a t-shirt every day. Just super comfortable. When you're getting paid to wear this, wear that, put this on, do this, do that, you want to just relax when you get home.
Yeah.
Right?
You
No
don't wanna do
makeup,
anything.
sweats.
Yeah, you want to relax. But a typical day, I wake up, check my emails all the time, of course, return phone calls if I need to, head to the office.
You have an office?
Run my business, yes.
Wow.
Yes. Run my business, check in on things, make sure my staff is okay and well taken care of. And but I finally reached a point where I have financial freedom, and that's what I really, really wanted. I wanted to be able to not have to be in the office all the time and be available for my family. I'm a big family person, and so I finally reached that point where I can do that. I can just hop up and go if I need to. It's a lot
so
of work.
great.
Yeah.
That is so great.
Freedom, right?
This is
That's what we all
exactly,
want.
yeah, but this is exactly what I was hoping for. You sit across. I'm sitting across from you. You're beautiful, right? You're talented. We can see it. The photos are coming up behind you. You don't know that that's going on. Video clips, but to hear it get deeper and talk about those things, it's inspiring. It really is. And I'm sitting here going, I need her help.
Help me.
That's what this is all about. And sharing these stories. So if you're listening out there, this is Elle Drain that we're talking to, the entrepreneur, the actress and model. We're talking about the covers of the magazines that you have, the videos you're in, the campaigns that you're involved in, and all the accomplishments that you've already done. But you're not done yet. You are. What's the future look like for you?
The future for me,
If we could fast forward to even like
Yeah.
2025 or
Yeah.
the year 2030, what would your life look like?
Would you go to France?
Oh, she's going to France before that.
I would definitely travel a lot more now that things have calmed down,
Right.
because I had to put all of that on pause for a while just to be safe, but definitely a lot more traveling. Now that the world has accepted the idea of the crypto space, I have also educated myself on that as well, crypto taxes.
Oh,
So
really?
that's something that everyone's going to have to eventually know about, because if you're making so much money, you need to know how to file taxes properly,
Right.
especially when you have your investments. They don't look at it as crypto. They don't look at it like stocks. They look at it like real estate. So capital gains tax.
Right.
things
How
of
do you
that
avoid
nature.
capital gains in crypto?
There's a way.
Is there another?
There's a way.
Is that another show?
Yeah. You guys lost me.
We'll explain
for-
later, Bryce.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, so in the future, definitely opening up a wider department for the crypto space.
Which wallets do you tend to favor? Do you have a lot of different wallets for the?
So I tend to actually favor hedging, like hedge funds.
Okay.
Hedging.
Okay.
Hedging. That's pretty much. I'll tell you some of my secrets.
Okay. All right. Deal.
But the idea is to make money in your sleep,
Yeah.
and that's what I've already accomplished.
Work
so
smarter,
when I'm
not
sleeping
harder,
and
right?
I wake up every day, I get statements of how much I made in my sleep without leaving the house.
Wow.
So definitely placing your money in a vehicle that can make money for you. So
What piece of advice would you have for anybody watching?
don't put your money in the bank.
You are
That's
so
what I would
impressive.
say. Do not leave your money in the bank. Put it in a vehicle that's going to give you a better rate of return versus the bank. The banks give you 0.01
Yeah.
maybe. And it's not to bash the banks, but if you want to make your money work, and if you want to have a proper savings or money for a rainy day or whatnot, put it in something that's going to actually work for you and serve you.
And what would you recommend?
I can talk about that too
Later.
on another. Yes.
All right. Stay tuned. We'll have
There are
more
some
episodes to
platforms. There are some
come.
platforms.
Okay.
There are a few. Yes.
All right. I like that.
You are impressive.
Very.
Thank you.
I am blown away.
Did you?
I'm
Who
at
were your
loss for words.
mentors
Wow.
along the
Yeah.
way? Were you self-taught, or who?
Well, you
taught
know
you all
what?
this?
I definitely have my grandmother, of course. I love her dearly. So she's very strong.
Sassy.
She has 6 children,
Wow.
all before the age of 21.
What?
Yes, she got married early.
Was she
Back
like
in
having
those
kids at
days.
12?
Back in those days, you can have babies early. My grandfather actually is having a birthday coming up. He's turning 80. And they got married young. He was in the service, and they had beautiful children together. And
Well,
That's incredible.
they,
Yeah.
2 of them were models, right? And
2 of them are identical twins. My mother and her sister.
do we
No
know
way.
them, or is it? are
So they kept it on a different level, and I just took it to the next level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They inspired me. So that's definitely my mother, of course.
Did she give you any advice growing up, or any words of wisdom?
She taught
that
me
you...
well. She really had me rooted spiritually, which helped me.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the industry, you're exposed to a lot of things in
yeah.
front of you. And I just had a protection over me, I would like to think, that protected me from all of those other things that could have shredded me apart.
Yeah.
Especially, I went to New York with no family. I just went by
Yeah.
myself.
That was me going to California
So,
How brave.
from New York. Had nobody.
but
Yeah,
my mom
very
knew
brave.
that she raised me well, and she trusted that I knew what I was doing. And,
Yeah.
That's what's really great. Again, and we'll touch on this all the time, but a hero's journey it's like, to break it down, a hero's journey is what every movie we've ever seen that you've
Goes
acted
back to
in.
Greek mythology. yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's taking on the journey and that call to action. You got a chance to go to New York. And what do? You took it on. You said, okay, I'm going to step into that adventure and figure it out as I go. And you had to learn that space,
yeah, I didn't even know how to take a train.
right?
I just
learn
had-
quick.
Back then, I had my phone, and it was just I had to put Google in the. I had to figure it out, and we didn't tell my dad at all.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
did not tell my dad. We kind of kept it from him. I waited until after the fact, and then I told them.
You're like that? Yeah, I'm good.
You were much braver than I am. You know that I landed I landed a 3-year contract role on All My Children in New York.
That's right. That was your
And
start.
I was in my early 20s. I was 22. And when I got to New York, the limo driver picks me up and he drops me off at the wrong place. And I remember this because he's sitting in the front seat and he's going, so how much money you making? You know, I'm like, I don't know. But he keeps prying. I'm like, this much money. And if I do well, then I make this much money, a week. And he goes, I make more than that. Puts up the thing. And I was like, oh, welcome to New York. Okay.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
So then he drops me off at the wrong studio.
Oh, no.
So now I have to walk. And as I'm walking,
Oh, yeah.
I see piles of garbage on the street. And I see 2 cop cars they're blocking traffic, but they're, facing each other talking. And I said, hey, is today garbage day? And they start laughing at me. And they
Every
said,
day is garbage
every day is garbage day. And I'm from Oregon. Beautiful green Oregon, right? And I had just moved to LA. I just landed this. And it's funny because I was up against a guy named Tucker, and I just saw him on a new series.
No way.
Yeah, and I remember this whole thing and being so terrified. So I step outside my hotel room. I walk around. I'm at the St. Moritz, right? I come around the corner and somebody's gets shot because he's trying to rob a Sam Goody or whatever store. He gets shot by the police. And I run back in. I'm like, okay, not cool. Tuck's like, dude, check out my view, right? Because it's between he and I. And I look out and I look down and this woman she gets hit by a taxi that just keeps going
Oh, my
as she's
goodness.
walking a dog. And
Just
I'm like,
another day in the life
I'm
of
like,
New
yeah.
York.
Number 2 and number 3, it's late at night and now I'm walking out going to get something to eat, and these prostitutes walk up to me and they're like, hey baby, we'll do you for free. And I'm like, where am I?
Oh, no.
Like, where am I? And so here was the thing.
Welcome to your new home.
So a buddy of mine goes, hey, I hear you're in town. And his name is Timok. And he played, he was an actor. He was in the Janet Jackson Let's Wait a While video on the rooftop and all this stuff. And he goes, come see me. Just jump on this subway and then take this subway to me. And I'm like, I'll just take a cab because this subway was terrifying to me. Like I was not going to do it.
Yeah.
I get there and I said, I'm going home. I worked 4 days
Goodness.
and said, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I was not brave enough to take on New York at that time. I really wasn't. Now I've played there. I've done.
New York is a great city, but it will eat you alive
Exactly.
if you're not ready
and
for it.
I was this this Oregonian who's just gonna get swallowed up by New York.
Yeah.
But it was a great story.
It's quite the adventure, right?
Here was the thing. I'm sitting. I roll up on Timok's block, and he's out on a stoop, right?
Yeah.
With all his buddies. And he's like, oh, yeah, this guy produced Janet Jackson, this guy. And it's like all these guys sitting outside. And he goes, I grew up here. And he goes, yeah, this is my mom's place. I grew up in this place. And they are all telling me, this is Timok's block. I'm like, block? Like, he's a soap opera actor. He was was on all kinds of stuff. And I go, block? They're like, yeah, New York State champion, karate, whatever it was, which made sense for some of the movies. When I say that name, go look him up. You'll see who I'm talking about. He's a good-looking guy, very talented. But I'm like, this is so New York, man. Like you're all sitting out I'm waiting for you guys to bust out in song or something, Yeah, it was cool though. But I applaud you because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I came back to LA and was like, you know what? I took on LA
Thank
from
you and
Oregon.
good night.
New York is too much for me right now.
I know I always left in the wintertime, so
Yeah?
I
New York-
couldn't stay in the wintertime. I was
East Coast
too
winters
afraid.
are brutal.
Yeah.
I grew up between New York and Connecticut, and they're
every
brutal.
time I would leave, the next day I would hear everything got snowed in.
Yeah.
Weird. Like it just would get snowed in. The subways, all of that stuff, like would get snowed in. I'm just like, I left on time, but I would always leave in the wintertime.
Did you ever have a time when you felt like, talking about the hero's journey, did you ever experience like the dark night of the soul? Did you ever experience a time when you just said, this is too much, don't want to go on, I can't do this anymore?
In terms of modeling,
Yeah.
I don't think I ever wanted to part ways with modeling. Maybe just the environment or some of the people, there were at the time I ended up with a management company, and their job was to get us signed with more than one agent there. And some people didn't get signed. I was there a week and got signed. And in result of that, they kicked me out of the house. And I had to go stay in the model apartment.
Yeah.
Now, it was one of the other models that I was staying with at the time. And so she just...
What was the model house like?
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Was it like Real World or anything like that? I'm just curious.
So, I think that was the point where after the model house, I said, okay, either I find somewhere else to stay or... But so the model house was okay, except I was rooming with a lot of Russian models, and they were chain smokers, cigarettes.
Oh.
And at the time, like the whole room would be like gray,
Wow.
and then they would put a fan on.
And that's gross, like for your skin, for
Oh, it's
just
awful.
these stink. Yeah.
But that's what they did
Yeah.
for whatever reasons, maybe weight or I don't know.
Can you go outside?
But I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. And I left the model house. It was very expensive. Very
really?
expensive. Yeah, they would just take it out of your check.
Yeah.
But it was very expensive back then. Mm-hmm. So
Wow. I don't understand how you guys can. I mean, it's a lot. I remember, and I don't want to say his name, what agency it was in L.A. When I told you I was modeling back home.
Right.
I go to L.A. I didn't know that I was going to end up being an actor. I thought, oh, maybe I can model there. And I remember going to this event, and the guy walks up to me, and he's like, that's my number one model, one of the biggest models in the world.
Okay.
And he starts pinching me and touching. And I'm like,
Yeah.
stop,
Excuse me.
stop touching me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I can't do this. He goes, we're going to have to send you to Japan or something like that. We're going to send you over Japan just a couple years. I'm like, I just got here. Like, I just moved here like 3-4 weeks ago.
That's
I'm
how it
living in
is.
my car, and you want me to?
That's how it is.
You want me to just pick up and go?
It's 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah, I'm
Get
saying-
used to it. Shape up or ship out.
Can do it,
Right?
and I
that's
applaud
exactly
you guys.
how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because right then and there, they wouldn't let me leave. I had 4 other agencies to go see. And when I was at Major Models, they were like, do you have any other appointments? I said, yeah. They said, cancel them. You're not going. We're
No
going
way.
to sign you. We're going to call
Like,
your
we want you.
agent. We want you. You're going to go. And it was usually like around August, September, October, Fashion Week in
Yep.
other countries.
Yeah.
You're going to be here October, here September. They had it all mapped out.
Wow.
It was just go time.
And so did you sign with them?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Immediately they put me into photo shoots and all types of stuff.
Are
It
you
was
still with them
great.
now?
I'm not with them anymore.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm thinking about exploring other markets.
Okay.
In addition to this market.
Where are you looking at?
Anywhere. I really want to do Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanna do
Yes.
Miami.
That would be fun.
For swim week, just
Yeah.
for fun, and
How
I
about
might
Europe?
go. Of course, yeah. I want to do Europe, Cape Town. I
Oh,
definitely
South
wanna-
Africa. I did a
Yeah.
series for NBC there. It's beautiful. A lot of political unrest, but it's one of the most, it's just God's country. It's stunning. You will love it.
I can't wait.
Yeah, go. If you can
Danielle.
go, go.
Definitely
You
looking
have
for it.
such the cool voice.
Doesn't
It's just,
she?
yeah. I just noticed
I always
that.
hated my voice
I was like,
forever.
wait a minute. She sounds good.
Yes.
You can't, on the
I
headphones,
know, I
she
know
sounds
already.
amazing. Yeah.
Even
So,
without the
yeah.
headphones, she's
just
amazing.
got me. Sorry, it just threw me.
You're making
It's
me
like,
blush.
what?
I've always
I'm
hated
sitting
my
here
voice ever
feeling
since
really
I was-
lucky that I get to sit in this room with the two of you. We're going to have to wrap this up, but did you have a good time?
I had a wonderful time.
It wasn't hard, was it? It was like you broke through a
No.
barrier, something
Yes.
completely new.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for anybody, like a little boy or a little girl just starting out and wants to go into?
The advice that I would give any young boy or girl is definitely believe in yourself, especially before you want others to believe in you, but you believe in you first.
Love that.
And definitely don't be afraid to take leaps. That's what I would encourage everyone to do.
You know
Love
what I
that.
loved right now? You broke that fourth wall and
Yes.
you were talking directly to them. That's amazing because that's
Yes.
what this is all about. When asked, why are you doing this? And I said, it's just an extension of myself. This is who I am. This is, if I met you and you told me about yourself, I would be your biggest fan like I am right now. Just like I am when I met you 6 years ago. I just applaud you and I watch you do your thing, and to see you go through everything you do, I know what it takes. I know the work and what you
the
guys
work,
have to
the struggle. We've
and you have
all
to show
been
up
through it.
every day to do it.
No
It just
matter
doesn't
what,
happen.
with a smile on your face.
Exactly.
Like,
Half the battle is
Yes.
showing up, right?
yes.
Yes.
Yes. But over time, you learn how to balance your emotions. You learn how to stay professional and, leave the personal stuff at the door
Awesome.
over time.
That's good advice, just all the way around for anyone and anything that you're doing. So,
Thank you for coming
Thank
in.
yeah,
you
Eldraine,
guys.
thank you. And
Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at HiFashL. That's HiFashelle. Also, my website, eldraine.com. And
she's in the
Beautiful.
newest video, Shark.
Sharks.
Yeah, for
And doesn't
Imagine
that
Dragons.
describe the entertainment? in it?
Oh,
yes,
totally.
being a rebel, creating
know.
chaos.
That was incredible. Chief Nerd, we want to say thank you, Travis. Thank you for
Thank you,
putting together this show today.
Thank you guys for being so
Yes,
awesome.
Thank
Yeah. Danielle, what are you thinking? This is your 5th show.
Yep.
Are you having a good time?
I'm in it to win it now. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yes. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Again, thank you to JSP Computers and S&P Inks. Stinky Pot Studios right here in Las Vegas. This is our creative
peeps.
space. Exactly. The Chief Nerd and everyone. Elle, thank you so much for being here. I hope you had a good time.
I did. I look forward to
Come back
trying this
for-
again.
Yeah?
Yes.
Part 2.
You know what?
More
We'll br-
advice
Part
for us.
two.
What we'll do is next time you come back, bring a friend.
Okay.
And then we'll hear her or his story, and we'll sit here and share, and we'll get deeper into yours. And you can give us some
got-
financial advice.
Absolutely. I would love to do that.
All right?
Stay tuned for the next episode.
Yep.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yep.
This is a
Hero's Journey podcast.
Dream, and I believe it's coming around to me.